See what we have today.
Tiki torches, Nazi chants, the truth. That was clear for everyone except two groups, white haters and this president.
They lie, and they lie, and they lie, and they just keep doing it. I don't know. Just gotta compose myself here just a little bit. So, once again, here we are to discuss yet another piece of deception coming from CNN and the Democrat operative known as Chris Cuomo. A few videos ago, I showed you how CNN and the media have been using highly edited clips from the day after Charlottesville, where President Trump defended protesters who were there to either defend the statues or demand their removal. He specifically separated these people from the neo-Nazis and Antifa. This is abundantly clear if you watch the entire press conference and not just a little snippet that Chris Cuomo, CNN, and the rest of the media want you to see. They insist on continuing to use this doctored footage in order to advance this narrative that Trump is a racist white nationalist. In fact, this entire narrative started with this press conference, proving that the entire narrative is based on lies.
Be nice if Spike Lee could read his notes, or better yet, not have to use notes at all when doing his racist hit on your president. First, Lee coming at the president isn't racism.
I love how Chris Cuomo just declares that Spike Lee isn't racist, despite the fact he's on record as hating white people and has a long movie list where the theme is always that white people are bad. Nope, Chris Cuomo believes that only he and people of his ideology can decide who is and isn't a racist. They love using that word as a weapon against their political opposition, but don't ever think that you can use it against them.
Seen Black Klansmen, but it ends with ugly scenes from the ugliness in Charlottesville. Tiki torches, Nazi chants, the truth. That was clear for everyone except two groups, white haters and this president.
And you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
Did he know what that meant?
Yeah, Chris Cuomo, he knew what it meant because he was very specific about what he meant. It's you who is deceiving. It's you who is editing the footage.
There was violence on both sides. Well, I do think there's blame. Yes, I think there's blame on both sides. You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. And if you reported it accurately, you would say.
Kill the person. Heather hired
Charlottesville. They showed up in Charlottesville to protest.
Excuse me. They didn't put themselves down as you, and you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides. You had people in that group, excuse me, I saw the same pictures as you did. You had people in that group that were there to protest the taking down of, to them, a very, very important statue and the renaming of a park from Robert E. Lee to another name. Well, no, George Washington was a slave owner. Was George Washington a slave owner? So will George Washington now lose his status? Are we going to take down, excuse me, are we going to take down statues to George Washington? How about Thomas Jefferson? What do you think of Thomas Jefferson? You like him? Okay, good. Are we going to take down the statue? Because he was a major slave owner. Now, we're going to take down his statue. So you know what? It's fine. You're changing history. You're changing culture. And you had people, and I'm not talking about the neo-Nazis and the white nationalists, because they should be condemned totally. But you had many people in that group other than neo-Nazis and white nationalists, okay? And the press has treated them absolutely unfairly.
The very fact that CNN and the rest of the media have to edit this clip in order to deceive their viewers shows that they're not very confident for 2020. That's why right now we're seeing this full frontal assault against any opposition to the Democrat Party. You have groups like Antifa on university campuses using violence to silence conservatives. You have the social media tech giants doing all that they can to suppress any sort of dissent against the left. And then you have the Democrats and their media setting up these standards for the protected classes within their party to inoculate them from any criticism. That way, when their opposition does come after them, they can just claim it's because of sexism, racism, intolerance, bigotry, Islamophobia, or whatever. Then you have the media filtering all information through their partisan lens in order to promote Democrats and destroy all their opposition. Even CNN's own Steve Cortez attempted to correct CNN host Aaron Burnett on this very topic last night, and they responded by making perplexed faces and straight up just laughing at him.
When Charlottesville happened, when violent people were actually marching with tiki torches in Charlottesville, the president said they were very fine people. This is a guy who has a history of stoking them. He said there were very fine people on both sides. This is a guy who has a history of stoking the flames of violence.
That's an incredibly important distinction. He said there were both fine people on both sides of the monument debate, and there are fine people on both sides. That's a serious debate. It's a historical debate. He did not say there were fine people on both sides of that protest. He did not say that neo-Nazis were fine people.
That defense. It's a good one, but no one's even tried to use it till you just tried to use it now.
At one point, the host, Aaron Burnett, even laughs at him and says, "Oh, that's a good one, Steve. Nobody has tried that defense yet." It's not even a defense. It's an undeniable fact. Seriously, though, this isn't a defense. Cortez is just pointing out that within this press conference, he condemned the neo-Nazis and separated them out from just the regular people who were there protesting.
In fact, he said exactly the opposite. He gave a speech from the White House where he completely denounced racism. He called it, quote, repugnant to Americans, any form of racism. So he actually very specifically denounced the neo-Nazis who were there.
Why did he offer to pay the legal bills for people who were roughing up people in his campaign rallies?
Either Aaron Burnett really doesn't know any better, and if that's the case, she probably shouldn't have her job, or she does know and she's just lying simply to play her part as a DNC propagandist. Also, I want you to notice how the left-wing guest and the host both team up to gang up on Steve Cortez. As you can see, Steve is calm, collected, and is simply encouraging these people to actually watch the press conference and not these 2-second-long snippets that CNN likes to play over and over. The more that CNN blatantly lies like this, the more it gives people like me a chance to go out there and chip away at their credibility. They may continue to keep broadcasting, but if nobody is taking them seriously, then they cease being a threat. Share this video, get the word out.